Commander Vex stood on the bridge of the flagship Devastator, watching the blue marble called Earth grow larger on the tactical display. His 3 eyes gleamed with satisfaction. Finally, after months of travel, the prize was within reach. "Status report," Vex demanded, his mandibles clicking with anticipation. "Sir, all 700 warships are in formation. Weapons are charged. Shields at maximum. We'll be in optimal firing range in 30 minutes. Lieutenant Cray's voice carried the confidence of someone who had never lost a battle. And why would they? The collective had conquered 42 worlds. 42 civilizations that thought they were special, that thought they were ready. All of them were wrong. All of them were now mining colonies or agricultural centers serving the collective's endless appetite for expansion. Earth would be number 43. These humans, Vex mused, leaning back in his command chair. What did the scout report say again? Cray pulled up the data. Primitive. Divided. Still fighting among themselves over resources and ideology. They've barely left their own planet. A few satellites. A handful of probes. One species living on their moon for a brief period decades ago, then they gave up. He laughed, a sound like grinding metal. They gave up on space exploration because it was too expensive. The bridge crew erupted in laughter. Too expensive. These creatures had no idea what awaited them out here in the galaxy. No idea that the universe didn't care about budgets or politics or petty squabbles. Any defensive capabilities? Vex asked, though he already knew the answer. Nuclear weapons, but they'd have to launch them manually. Their reaction time is pathetically slow. Some conventional forces. Kinetic weapons. Nothing that could scratch our shields. Cray dismissed the threat with a wave of his appendage. Sir, with respect, we could probably take this planet with a single cruiser. Vex nodded. Then why am I bothering with 700 ships? To send a message, Commander. To make sure every other species in this sector knows what happens when they occupy a world we want. Exactly. Vex stood, straightening his ceremonial armor. Open a channel to the fleet. Let's make this official. The communications officer worked quickly, and soon Vex's image was being broadcast to every ship in the Armada. Warriors of the collective, we stand at the edge of greatness. This world, this Earth, will fall before sunset on their largest continent. We will crush their cities. We will take their resources. We will make examples of their leaders. And we will do it so efficiently, so brutally, that no one will dare oppose us again. Prepare for. The sensor station erupted in a cacophony of alarms. What is that? Vex snapped, whirling toward the source of the noise. The sensor operator, a young recruit named Tix, stared at his screen with an expression Vex had never seen before. Pure, absolute terror. Commander, we have contacts. Multiple contacts. They're coming from Earth's direction but further out. Near the red planet, the one they call Mars. How many contacts? Tix's voice cracked. I don't know, sir. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. They're moving fast. Really fast. Vex felt his blood run cold, which was quite a feat for a species with purple, ammonia-based blood. Visual. Now. The main screen flickered, and what appeared made Vex's legs go weak. Ships. Human ships. But these weren't the crude chemical rockets his scouts had reported. These were sleek, angular vessels that seemed to shimmer in the void. They moved with a grace that suggested technology far beyond what the collective possessed. And they were accelerating at speeds that should have liquefied any biological crew inside. That's impossible, Cray whispered. The reports said they barely had orbital capabilities. Apparently, Vex said slowly, the reports were wrong. The human ships arranged themselves in a formation that was simultaneously beautiful and terrifying. They didn't rush forward in a disorganized mob. They moved like a school of predatory fish, each one perfectly positioned to support the others. Incoming transmission, the communications officer announced, his voice shaking. Put it through. The screen changed, and a human appeared. She was young, with dark skin and eyes that held absolutely no fear whatsoever. Behind her, Vex could see a bridge that made his flagship's command center look like a cave dwelling. "I'm Captain Reeves of the Terran Defense Fleet," she said calmly. "You've entered our territory without permission. You have one chance to turn around and leave. This is your only warning." Vex found his voice, though it took effort. "Your territory? We have 700 warships. Our weapons could glass your planet in an hour. You're outnumbered." Captain Reeves smiled. It was not a pleasant smile. "Outnumbered?" She leaned forward. "Commander, we've been watching you since you entered this solar system. We've been waiting. We've been preparing. And honestly, we're a little disappointed. We expected more from a species that calls itself the Collective." She paused, letting that sink in. "You see, Commander, you made a critical mistake. Your scouts. They saw what we wanted them to see. All that fighting among ourselves, all that primitive technology, all that division. Theater. We've been unified for 20 years. We've had quantum drives for 15. And we've been waiting for someone like you to show up so we could test our new toys." Vex felt his stomachs twist into knots. "All three of them. You're bluffing." "Am I?" Captain Reeves gestured to someone off-screen. "Lieutenant Harris, please demonstrate our hospitality." Before Vex could process what was happening, 12 of his outer fleet ships simply vanished from the tactical display. Not exploded. Not damaged. Vanished. As if they had never existed. "What did you do?" Vex shouted, his composure completely shattered now. "Railguns," Reeves said casually, examining her fingernails. "Firing tungsten rods at 0.7% the speed of light. Your shields. Adorable. They're designed for energy weapons. Turns out, good old-fashioned kinetic energy still works just fine. Actually, it works spectacularly well." Cray was frantically working his console. "Sir, I'm reading massive energy signatures from the human vessels. They're charging weapons across the entire fleet. And Commander, our sensors are detecting something else. There are installations on their moon. Railgun platforms. Hundreds of them. All aimed at us. Also," Reeves continued as if commenting on the weather, "you might want to look behind you." Vex spun toward the rear display. His blood turned to ice. 3 massive human ships, each one dwarfing his flagship, had somehow appeared behind the collective fleet. They hadn't been there 30 seconds ago. "Stealth technology," Reeves explained helpfully. "Also human innovation. We're really quite good at killing each other, Commander. Thousands of years of practice. Every weapon you can imagine, we invented it. Refined it. Perfected it. And when we finally stopped fighting ourselves and looked up at the stars," she smiled again, "we realized all that expertise shouldn't go to waste." "This is insane," Vex muttered. "Your species was nowhere near this advanced. It's been less than a year since our scouts reported. A year in Earth time is a very long time when you're motivated, Commander. Let me tell you a story. When your scouts visited, we detected them immediately. We let them see what they wanted to see because we knew what would happen next. Someone would come to conquer us. And we wanted whoever came to be confident. Overconfident. We wanted them to bring their entire fleet so we could make a point." She stood up from her command chair, and Vex could see the full Terran bridge behind her. Dozens of officers working in perfect synchronization. Holographic displays showing tactical information that made his technology look ancient. Weapons systems he couldn't even begin to understand. "The point being," Reeves said coldly, "Earth is not up for grabs. Humanity is not prey. And anyone who comes here looking for an easy conquest is going to learn a very painful lesson. You can't destroy 700 ships," Vex said desperately. "Even with your technology, we can overwhelm you with numbers." "Can you?" Reeves tilted her head. "Lieutenant Harris, current fleet status." A voice responded from off-screen. We have destroyed or disabled 193 enemy vessels. 0 casualties on our side. Enemy shield effectiveness is negligible. Their armor is insufficient. Estimated time to complete fleet elimination is 14 minutes. Vex looked at his own tactical display. It was true. His fleet was being systematically dismantled. Ships were exploding, spinning out of control, or simply going dark as their systems failed. The humans were everywhere, moving faster than should be possible, hitting harder than seemed reasonable, and coordinating with a precision that suggested they had practiced this exact scenario 1,000 times. Which, Vex realized with growing horror, they probably had. "I'm giving you one more chance, Commander," Reeves said. "Order your ships to power down weapons and surrender. Your crews will be treated fairly under Terran law. You'll be sent home with a message for the rest of the galaxy. Or you can keep fighting and we'll turn your fleet into an asteroid field. Your choice. You have 60 seconds. Vex looked around his bridge. His officers stared back at him with fear and confusion. They had never encountered anything like this. The collective had spent centuries believing they were apex predators. And now they had run face first into something worse. Much worse. "Commander," Cray shouted. "The humans are targeting our engines now. They're not trying to destroy us anymore. They're disabling us. Trying to capture us." That made the decision easier. Death was one thing. Being studied like an insect in a laboratory was another. "Send the surrender signal," Vex said quietly. "All ships. Stand down." Reeves nodded approvingly. "Smart choice. You'll be taken to processing stations we've set up near Jupiter. Don't worry, the accommodations are quite comfortable. We're not monsters, Commander. We're just very, very good at war." The transmission ended, and Vex collapsed into his command chair. Around him, his mighty fleet powered down their weapons in shame. The conquest of Earth had lasted less than 20 minutes. "Sir," Cray said softly, "what do we tell the collective?" Vex thought about that. He thought about the 42 worlds they had conquered with ease. He thought about the countless species they had crushed beneath their boots. And he thought about the humans, who had turned the tables so completely and so efficiently that his entire worldview had shattered. "We tell them the truth," Vex said finally. "We tell them that Earth is off limits. We tell them that humanity is not a victim species. And we tell them that if they want to survive in this galaxy, they need to learn one very important lesson." "What lesson, sir?" Vex watched as human ships surrounded his fleet, herding them like livestock toward their fate. Never, ever underestimate a species that spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of killing its own kind. Because when they finally turn that expertise outward, he laughed bitterly. "The rest of us don't stand a chance."
Hello everyone. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, don't forget to support our channel. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. We regularly upload amazing, informative, and entertaining content just for you. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to bring even better content in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to our growing community.